Chapter 1: The Arrival. The tires of our rental car crunched against the gravel as we pulled up to Pinecrest Manor. Its towering facade loomed over us, casting a long shadow that seemed to stretch endlessly into the surrounding forest. My friends and I had been looking forward to this vacation for months, but as I gazed up at the old mansion, a shiver ran down my spine, and a sense of foreboding settled in the pit of my stomach. As we stepped out of the car, the air grew thick with anticipation. The grandeur of Pinecrest Manor was undeniable, yet there was something undeniably unsettling about it. The paint on its walls was faded, and the windows were dark, as if hiding some dark secret within. Inside, the atmosphere was heavy with the scent of dust and decay. Cobwebs clung to the corners of the room, and the floorboards creaked beneath our feet as we explored the vast interior. Each room seemed to hold its own secrets, and I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. Chapter 2: The Legend. As night fell, we gathered around the fireplace, the crackling flames casting eerie shadows across the room. It was then that our host, Mr. Hawthorne, revealed the dark history of Pinecrest Manor. According to legend, the mansion was built over a century ago by a wealthy family with a penchant for the occult. They were said to have dabbled in dark rituals and forbidden magic, harnessing powers beyond comprehension. But their greed and hubris would be their downfall. As Mr. Hawthorne spoke, I felt a chill run down my spine. He described how the family had vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers of their malevolent deeds. Since then, Pinecrest Manor had stood empty, a monument to their twisted legacy. Chapter 3: The Haunting begins. That night, as I lay in bed, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled over me. The darkness seemed to press in from all sides, suffocating me with its oppressive weight. Suddenly, a chill breeze swept through the room, sending shivers down my spine. I pulled the covers tighter around me, trying to shake off the feeling of dread that had taken hold. But then, I heard it. A soft whisper, barely audible over the rustling of the leaves outside. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but then it came again, clearer this time. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding in my chest. The voice seemed to be coming from the hallway outside my room, beckoning me to follow it. With trembling hands, I rose from bed and crept towards the door. The floorboards groaned beneath my weight, echoing through the silent house. As I reached the hallway, the whisper grew louder, drawing me further into the darkness. I tried to resist its pull, but something compelled me forward, driving me towards the unknown. Chapter 4: The Unraveling. I followed the voice down a winding staircase, descending deeper into the bowels of Pinecrest Manor. The air grew colder with each step, and the shadows seemed to dance around me, twisting and contorting into monstrous shapes. Finally, I reached the bottom of the staircase and found myself standing in front of a heavy wooden door. The voice was coming from the other side, its words now clear and distinct. "Help me," it whispered, a note of desperation creeping into its tone. "Help me, before it's too late." With trembling hands, I pushed open the door and stepped into the darkness beyond. What I saw there would haunt me for the rest of my days. Chapter 5: The Ritual. Before me lay a chamber bathed in flickering candlelight. Symbols were etched into the walls, their meaning lost to time. In the center of the room, a figure knelt before an altar, its form shrouded in darkness. As I approached, the figure turned to face me, its eyes burning with a malevolent light. It was then that I realized the truth. The whispers, the shadows, the sense of dread that had hung over Pinecrest Manor like a shroud, they were all part of a ritual that had been waiting for me. With horror, I realized that I was not alone in this accursed place. Something ancient and evil lurked within the shadows, hungering for release. Chapter 6: The Escape. I turned to flee, but it was already too late. The door slammed shut behind me, sealing me inside the chamber with the dark entity that lurked within. Panic surged through me as I searched for a way out, but the walls seemed to close in around me, trapping me in their suffocating embrace. But then, a glimmer of hope pierced the darkness. A faint light flickered in the corner of the room, drawing me towards it like a moth to a flame. With renewed determination, I stumbled towards the light, my heart pounding in my chest. As I reached out to touch it, I felt a surge of energy course through me, banishing the shadows that had held me captive. With a final burst of strength, I shattered the darkness, tearing open a hole in reality itself. And as the light flooded in, I knew that I had broken the curse that had haunted Pinecrest Manor for so long. Epilogue. As dawn broke over the horizon, I emerged from the depths of Pinecrest Manor, the weight of its dark legacy lifted from my shoulders. My friends were waiting for me outside, their faces filled with concern. "What happened?" they asked, their voices trembling with fear. I smiled, though my heart still raced with the memory of what I had seen. "We're free," I said, my voice filled with wonder. "We're finally free." And as we drove away from that accursed place, I knew that Pinecrest Manor would forever be a memory, a ghost of the past, never to haunt us again.
By the way, if you want more horror and creepy stories like this, then please subscribe.